The Hangout on air is live. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to TAT Chat number 122. It's been titled by me Dealing with Overstock / Deathpiles. It's something that me and Nick will discuss. Hi, Nick. How are you? Oh, Nick.
Sorry, I'm just trying to. I was muted for a second. I'm just opening up the chat.
Just as I was just saying, how are you? You know.
Yeah, good. We were just saying we're
this is going to be a
pretty
really good chat.
out for the weekend.
Yeah, this is going to be the best chat. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still messing about with Windows.
No worries. I'll say a few hellos. Southwest Sellers, hi there. Thanks for popping in. Peter Ray, BCP, Peter Cummins, Gloria, Flipping Fantastic Finds, Karen, Stephen Moore, Panzer, Blitz, Sibley, Adam, Jay Burke, Bobby Billington, Jason Entwistle, Steve, Karen, lots of people. Thank you, everybody that's joined. Joan, Glenn Martin, Silverhair Stacker, RJ. Wow, loads of people. Yeah, guys, we are going to do our utmost to be professional and
awake.
And awake, yes.
Oh, we've got our medals on, buddy.
Yeah, we should. This is just how we roll now. Yeah, with our walk the walk medals. Yeah, we're just wearing them. You know, actually, before we start, we'll do like the obligatory. We have to kind of. You might have to do this because I'm not sure how I know how to screen share on here. I've not done it.
The little up on the left-hand side. Do you want me to do it or?
Yeah, do you want to? I've not done it on this before.
Yeah, well, I've got to open a window.
I can't remember anyway. I've got the window open. Yeah, it'll be cool.
Right, let me juggle.
I need to figure this out as well.
Well, this is a first. I know how to do something technical, and you.
Yeah, I used to know how to do it, but I've forgotten how to do it.
I've just got to open up. What page?
Oh, yeah, I see it now. Of course.
Yeah. Well, if you've got a page out, you share it then.
Yeah, shall I share it?
Yeah, go.
Oh, there we go. Share it. There we go. Pow. Wow, it's up at 17.28 now. So we've raised £1,728.44, which is astonishing. Sandra Sears gave £20. That's Lady Lolly. You all smashed it. Well done. That came through today. So definitely a big thank you to Sandra. I'll message there later. Barry Francis gave to us yesterday. Katie Butler as well.
That's my youngest sister, Katie.
Is it? Oh, fantastic.
She's coming up at the weekend actually with her new baby. So yeah, can't wait.
Oh, epic. I didn't even know, Nick. I didn't even know. Like, wow. Peter Cummins, Annie Gunn, George Ross, Heather, Janet Plant, so many people have given, and that was just in the last day or two. And so to have achieved £1,728, we're like really happy. What's really sad is I've just noticed this little button's turned up, disband team, or maybe it was there before because it's all over now.
Oh, that feels sad.
No, I'm just going to leave that. All right.
I don't know how long that page stays active.
I think it's for a little while. I'm not sure how long.
Because there'll be plenty of people that will find these videos, a few weeks down the line, or just find the channels and want to get involved. So hopefully we can just leave it open.
Yeah, definitely, exactly. That would be fantastic. So yeah, enough of that though. We are a bit tired. We are super proud as well. But yeah.
And we have been banging on about it relentlessly.
It's very overtaking, and I've got to be honest. It's it's one of those things that it is emotionally tough as well. You do start thinking about all kinds of things, like the people that you see there, and I'm not going to get into it, but yeah, it was brilliant. Wow, comments coming through. Julie Core joined us as well. Karen says, won't be in long, still doing posts. Wow, well done, guys. And how I deal with Deathpiles, stop buying and get it listed. There you go, show's over, guys. Karen has sorted it for us there.
What
Gloria
title did you
once.
put on, actually? I can't even see.
I just put dealing with Overstock / Deathpiles.
Ah, right.
Kind of, yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
guys are doing something a little bit different shortly, or a little bit different for you, aren't you?
Yeah, we've it ties in with the title. Beck and I are thinking about doing our first car boot. We're hoping to do it this weekend. All well, all being well. It depends whether we'll 100% get to do it, but the aim is to do it this weekend. It's not something I've done before. I've actually actively shied away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm surprised that you guys have never sold at a boot sale in all this
never,
time.
no, never. It's just not something. Nothing about it appeals to me. It really doesn't.
You prefer the distance selling where you don't have to
I just the
interact
thought.
with the public, or what?
It's not even interacting with people. It's just I don't like to be in a place, like being forced to sit in one place for like 3 hours or 4 hours or whatever it is. It's just not appealed to me in the past. I understand obviously you can walk around and whatever, but just the thought of being at a stall, I just don't like the thought of it. It seems like such a waste of a morning. It's going to be nice and sunny this weekend, and if we do it, we're going to just be stood there, and I don't know. It's just one of those things. I'm not sure. I like the idea of it. However, there comes a point, and this is something that this is just something that I've been thinking about a lot. That we all have Deathpiles, and I think even if the stock is good, it can become like a Deathpile or an Overstock, because if you buy something, even if it's really cool, because I've got some stuff that I'm going to be taking to the car boot that really I should just sell, but I've had it for so long now, and I'm so tired of having it there that I've almost. I mean, this could just be me. It could just be silly. I almost now can't list it on eBay, even though I probably should. I'd rather take less money for it and just get rid of, one of those things where I just want it gone now.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a common thing, because I've had that. It's like it's so much better to buy stuff and get it listed within that first sort of week or so, because like you say, once an item is sat on a shelf for 6 months or whatever it is, you just fall out of love with it. You think, I can't be bothered. I don't know. It kind of you put a wall up in front of you, don't you? You say, I can't list this. I've had it for too long. I don't know what is that.
And it's logically
it's
ridiculous.
Insane,
yeah, because I'm thinking to myself, what am I? On one hand, I'm looking at some of the stuff and I'm thinking to myself, why am I even thinking about trying to sell that at a car boot? That's a easy sale on eBay or whatever. But on the other hand, I know that it's already been there for like over a year, and it's just going to stay there, and I'm not going to do it. So
yeah.
Technically, I am better to cash out, even if it is for significantly less value. And I know that sounds really silly, but I'd like to hear what other people think. But it's good to hear that you've had the same feeling about
Sometimes
stuff.
just moving on is powerful. Just cutting your losses and moving on from stuff. Even if if you got around to listing it, you'd probably make more money. Just clearing space and clearing headspace and moving on is I think quite important sometimes. People in the chat were saying just now, TAT Peddler says, wife has put me down for a car boot stall at a local school. Fate. Plan to take my Deathpiles there to clear.
Yeah. And I think that's what I'm looking forward to, is like a reboot, like a refresh, like I've got stuff that, it's really weird to say. It's like, I like hi-fi, right? I'll give you an example. I like hi-fi. But recently I've not been that keen on listing it unless it's specific kinds. Like it's getting a bit silly, so I'll list something if it's above a certain value, obviously, but I don't want to be dealing with like uber chunky bits of kit now. And in the past, I've sat here many times and said, I think those people that don't sell big bulky items are silly because it's just leaving the market and you can ship it and charge more. And I've said this so many times, but you know what, I mean, I've also said I'm a fickle person, but but
You've been
people,
seduced by stuff that fits in an envelope. That's what's happened.
yeah, completely. So
Yeah.
things change, and you know, people change, and I suppose like your business can change to reflect what you're doing. And like I'll still list hi-fi, but I've got stuff that, you know, a year ago, no questions asked, it would have been listed, it would have been tested, it would have been sold. But you know, due to just the way that things have gone over the past few months, and about a year now, to be honest, I'd be kidding myself if I said, yeah, I'm definitely gonna list that or sell that, or you know, I'd like to think I should, but I won't. So just going into the comments.
Stephen said, I know I'm a little bit behind. Stephen Moore's in. Hi there. Says we have to do a boot fair this weekend due to the rubbish leftovers we have from auctions. So somebody there clearing out. I mean, we did one a couple of weeks back and cleared out stuff, a lot of stuff from that big auction hall that either wasn't worth the effort putting online, or there was a lot of like spray canisters that we can't ship, and I cleared a load of that sort of stuff. It doesn't. It certainly has its place. Clearing stuff at the boot sale. Steve Green is in. Hi, Steve. I've never done a boot sale either, and had never been to a car boot before I started reselling.
Okay, I'm just checking. Someone's saying, is my Apple thing going again? No, it's not.
Gary says, a bit of a tip: get in early and clean up. Lots of burgers and a suntan. That's the point. If you get in with the sellers. So what we normally do, unless I'm doing it on my own, it's a bit trickier. But what you can do is just leave your car locked. Well, yeah, and then wander around. You know what?
I know what you're laughing.
Yeah, we won't mention one.
Yeah,
and yeah, you can have a quick sweep round before most of the dealers have even got in. You know, paid to get in early, so you might be able to hoover up a few bits as well.
Yeah, could do. I mean, but I think I'd definitely be going with the storage. Sorry, the selling in mind. The selling is going to be the main key. Haha, Z, wait till you get the vulture crowd at the start, says Joan. You know, I'll be prepared. I'll make sure I'm prepared.
Are you going to go through the stuff beforehand and price it up in your head, or even price sticker it up?
Well, I mean, Beck has got a lot of clothes as well that she wants to get rid of. So we're going to see what she does with that. But we were thinking of, as well as having prices, just having an idea of job lot prices. So if someone did want to just take the lot of something, you know, that would be like, yeah, you know, go ahead, take it, or you know.
It's good to have at least to think about it, because you may well be, especially if you've got hi-fi stuff out, you'll be descended on.
Yeah.
Without having, you don't really have a moment to think. So it'd be worth going through in your head, or even, like I say, price sticker and things up to give yourself a bit of time when you're there.
Yeah, definitely. I think is the good thing is I'm not going there to, you know, like the stuff that I'm going to be taking, I'm not really fussed. I don't even remember what it owes me or anything like that, to be honest. It's just a case of just clearing it now. You know, it probably doesn't owe me anything, so I'm not going there thinking, oh, I need to make sure that I'm turning some kind of a big profit or something, you know. So that will give us like I suppose it will give us an easier ride in a way, because I'm not really going to be that fussy about things. Obviously I won't, you know, completely give stuff away, but depends really. If I'm tired, I might just be like, yeah.
You do get in a different headspace when you're at a boot sale. You get in the
really?
I don't want to take anything home mentality.
Don't want anything, just take it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got, it's like things like I've got, you know, I bought ages ago like an Edison horn, and it came with a bunch of Edison rolls, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to go through those and I'll list those and see, or I'll bundle them. I've seen them go for good money. Have I? Do you know what I mean? Like, I sold the Edison horn, and then the rolls have just been languishing.
Really?
You know, yeah.
What sort of value might be there, though?
No, I doubt there's anything special. I mean, I did look when I got them, and I had that, you know, you talk about that first initial hype. In the initial hype, I did go through to make sure there were no like super rare expensive ones, but I don't think there were. You know, I don't think there were. So I did look through it, and then
that's cool. I mean, that's an ideal sort of thing, I think, to clear, because, you know,
exactly.
they're fragile. Do you really want to be shipping them? If they're not worth a lot of money, you might as well get, I don't know, 10, 20 quid the whole lot at a big shop, if you're lucky, from some antique dealer, and move on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jason says my death pile is in storage lockup, out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, but that's money tied up as well, Jason, isn't it? That's the thing.
Ash, I'm the Legend says something. That is Ash, isn't it? I think I'm the Legend.
Yeah, it is Ash.
He says, if you have storage, the bigger the death pile, the better. That's what he thinks. As long as I can list X amount a day, I'm happy.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily like the storage is a good thing, and being able to store stock is a good thing, definitely. But I think what we're talking about is that there is almost this unreasonable threshold where, like you said, you fall out of love with an item. And I know that sounds stupid because we're in business, but you lose motivation to list stuff if you've had it for too long. Like I found that, and you know, Nick's found that, and that leads me to believe other people will also have found that as well. You know, if you leave something too long, like we all know that, you know, you go out and you get a haul of stuff, and you know, you'll list some stuff immediately because you're buzzing about it, but you often leave those little bits and pieces here and there, and they can quickly, you know, weeks can become, you know, days can become weeks, can become months, and then before you know it, you're just buying the new thing, and then you're
sick of the other stuff. I think that's the point. I've been there with a few items. Interestingly, right now, well, as you know, for the last few days, I've been going through thousands of these Magic the Gathering cards. I don't know if you can actually see on the side here is just some of it. I've got boxes and boxes of these.
Wow.
And this is the pile of ones that are going to go on in little bundles or individually. Some of these are worth 20 quid plus. And I've had this whole collection since we closed the gaming shop. So it's like, I don't know, 5-6 years, and it's sat there.
Just sat there.
And a lot of it, the value has gone down, but then some, the value's gone up. I don't know, it's weird, but I've just never got around to it, and I'm just forcing myself to do it now. And I've spent, I don't know how many hours the last few days just looking it all up. And weirdly, I've quite enjoyed it. But I haven't done the listing part yet, though.
But it's cool that you kept it for that long and are happy to go back to it after that period of time.
It's only 2 or 3 crates this size. I mean, it's.
But would you say it's because you? Would you say it's because you enjoyed Magic before? You used to play it, didn't you?
It's something that I've collected myself. I played myself, so yeah, I have a vested interest in it. Yeah, if it was something I knew very little about, I probably would have just job lotted the whole lot. And I considered doing that. I was going to auction it all off, but then I started looking, and I found a number of cards that, like I said, are 20, 30 quid each, and very quickly you realise it's worth the time. So that's
Peter Cummins says we all know Zoo will walk around buying Thin Lizzy jackets, end up having a burger and leave Becca. So, well, firstly, you can't just go around buying those. I'm sure they're not just lying around. And secondly, Beck would not have any of that. That's exactly the thing should be on straight away.
You ask Andrea what happens when we do a boot sale together. She'll say that I just disappear and leave her.
Yeah. But she must get mad because Beck will just, I think she'll say that. Yeah.
She refused to do the last one. I had to do it on my own.
Pushed it too far.
I just abandoned her. And then, of course,
that would be the kind of difficult thing, like knowing that you can just go around and look at other stalls early. Yeah.
But you see, I leave her in the lurch, and then half the stuff is kind of, in quotes, mine. And I've got an idea of what I want. So she sells a load of it, and then I always sort of moan, "Oh, you didn't get enough for that."
And then you're like, and then she gets mad.
Yeah, we have a little row, and then I go off again. Yeah.
Oh, see, no, I don't want that. That sounds too stressful.
Flipping Fantastic Finds is in and says, did a clear out car boot on Sunday, made around £100, sorted the better stuff, and gave the dregs away for 50p an item towards the end. And then shouting, "Everything's free." Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, a couple of weeks back when I had a clear out, there was a stall who did that thing where they go, suddenly everything is 10p, and I cleaned up. They had loads of media, Blu-rays, games, and I just cleaned up at 10 pence each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ash says, just put your head down and list. It's easier said than done. Hello from Northern Ireland, says David M, the car boot picker. Hello, Zero Nick. All right, lads. Hi there, David.
Hi, David. Karen Nocraft says, didn't mean to oversimplify. I may have missed the previous comment. It depends on what you sell and how you source. But words that stuck with me was, I'm not in the storage game, so I'm trying to keep on top of it after my reality a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It is.
It's a balancing act, is what it is, because you can't help but source more in the summer and less in the winter. That's just how it works, depending on where you're sourcing. But if you source at car boot sales, you're going to pick up 5-10 times as much stock in those months. So you have to, in some way, you know, I don't know, grab it while it's there,
and at the same time maintain some form of control, because
control is the word.
Yeah, well, because when you've got a lot of stuff lying around, and if it's, especially if you don't work in a clean environment, and I say that in the nicest way possible, because I'm the same. Like, you forget what you've bought. Like I thought I'd listed everything I'd got from the car boot, and then I look over and I'm like, oh, apart from those guitar pedal things and that Apple keyboard,
they were good as well.
Still not listed. Still not listed. Got those there. Got the Apple keyboard there as well. The 20 questions that's there as well. And yeah, you know,
in an ideal world, we'd have a system, wouldn't we? We'd all have a system. And I thought, when I moved everything back here, when we closed the second shop, the clothing shop, I had ideas of what these shelves are going to be. This is why I put new stock and where it's sorted, and then it goes here once it's, you know what I mean? And it just goes out the window every time I try and get it organized. I need to get systems in place, and that's where I fail, I think. Other people that, you know, we can both think of, I mean, Steve Hicksey is a great example, actually. He has a rigid system.
Very.
And it works. But yeah, I don't quite operate like that.
The other person that comes to mind is Bonafide Hustler, who literally has his items packed and boxed. So once he lists them, he has them already packaged, and then he just goes down to his garage, picks what's sold, and that's it.
I think fundamentally that comes down to a personality type. That we don't fit into that box. I think
no,
we fight against our
definitely no. Yeah, and I think that is, you know, one of those situations where you're like, it makes perfect sense on paper, but you know, like you said, you have to be realistic and truthful with yourself, because when I'm saying it out loud, it sounds daft. Oh, you know, I'm gonna just sell this a car boot and get less money than I would on eBay. Oh, by the way, I sell on eBay for a living. Doesn't make any sense, right?
It does sound illogical. But at the same time, you're cashing out stuff that you're not keen on listing, probably not going to get listed, and you can then reinvest that money in stuff that will make you money quicker and easier.
Exactly.
That's
at the moment, yeah, that's the other way of looking at it, is at the moment there is still money tied up in that stuff. You know,
that peddler says, I agree, Z, get rid and make space for better stock. That's one way of focusing on it.
Exactly.
And making sense out of what you feel like doing. Oh, is that Alf in the background?
Yeah, he's going bonkers about something or other. I don't know. Probably someone walking past the house.
Claire
Alf! Alf! Come here. God,
Claire and Leah Resale say they're just watching whilst getting my 10K steps.
Oh, epic.
You're out walking now. Or maybe on a treadmill at home.
And Corin's been stood in the garden talking to her neighbour for 2 hours. He can talk, lol. Wow. Yep. That is a quite a talker there. And she asks, how are the hips and ankles? I'm not aching anywhere particularly.
No, I'm feeling all right.
Just extremely tired. Like,
if I sit for too long, I kind of seize up in the hip. But beyond that, I'm feeling I'm surprised, to be honest. I'm feeling pretty okay.
I'm much more mobile than I thought. Yeah, I'm completely mobile. I mean, I went out walking Alf this morning, and it's fine. Like you said, if you lay down and you get up at first, it takes, you know, you have to kind of loosen up, as it were. Yeah. But the main thing is just just fatigue, isn't it?
Yeah. I just want to say hi to Lex Oliver. I was watching one of your videos last night, Lex, and it amused me while I was sorting thousands of cards. I love your sense of humor.
Yeah.
So yeah, go through and check out Lex's channel if you want to, guys. And Joan Glenn Martin says, Z, I shipped a 21K knitting machine today. Is that 21 grand? Can't.
21K a kilo, maybe.
Oh, that would make more sense. That's a blooming expensive knitting machine if it's 21 grand. Yeah.
I've got to say, thank you for the for Karen and for Peter and the other mods. But we have had Ultimate Warrior in the chat. Not the real Ultimate Warrior, but I just had to say it's funny. I love Ultimate Warrior. Alf, come here.
Yeah. I'm way behind. I'm only just seeing
that. Alf, come here. God, sorry about this. This is just a bad dog he is.
I'm so far behind. Oh my god.
Oh, are we really behind? I thought we were catching up. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Good use goods jewelry is in the chat and says, I put real estate value behind each item. If I have items worth more and are faster sellers, the less value stuff goes on clearance or is donated to make room for new inventory. So that makes a lot of sense. And I think when I first started like reselling, I didn't, I always use, we all wonder, especially when you go into like a supermarket or something or a Tesco's and you see they've reduced Lego that, sells online for like 30 quid and they for some reason reduced it down to 3 quid. And you just think, oh, look at these idiots. They call themselves a business. So I'm going to hoover all these up and make a profit on them. And that's how I used to feel like, oh, wow, getting one over on them. But then even though we're obviously magnitude, orders of magnitude, like tinier and more insignificant than the likes of Tesco, the same principles to an extent apply, don't they? Because it does all come down to your cash flow and moving inventory, keeping it fresh. And there comes a time where you do appreciate that once you've made your money on something, it's okay to let go of the rest, just to get to cash out and put into something new.
Things moving, to keep things fresh, get new stock in. I was just reading Silverhair Stacker from America there says, we had a yard sale 4 weeks ago, sold $974 worth, cleared the good but not good enough for eBay stuff.
See, that's a key there. So it's good stuff, and you're happy to sell it at a yard sale, and I think that sounds really true. Or sounds really good. God, my words are just wrong. That sounds how I feel about it. I'm taking stuff that I wouldn't say is just, it's not just terrible stuff. Some of it's really good stuff.
And TAT Peddler's got an interesting comment. It says, selling at car boots more is going to be part of my long-term plan when I hopefully go full-time in a few months. Still testing the water on that idea. And I think people do. I think people who perhaps people who buy at auction more and buy, bundle lots and stuff, or buy job lots, can see that getting cash in hand once a month or once a week maybe is a fantastic way of liquidating that stuff that's just not worth the time and effort putting on eBay. And I see regulars at my car boot sales who I think do the online and do the car boot, and it gives you a way of shifting that stuff that's only worth £1 or £2. It's not worth your time putting on eBay.
And I think the other thing to bear in mind about selling stuff cheap is that it's teaching you a lesson. Like if you sell something that you've had listed for many years and you get your asking price, but it takes you maybe 2 years or it takes you a year to get that asking price for it, then is it really a success story? How much of a success story is it? Imagine you buy something for £1, and you listed it for 20 and it takes 2 years to sell. Yeah, that's 20 times return, before fees and etc. whatever. But if it's taken you 2 years to make that money, is it really a success? I mean, you have to start questioning that, because what's your time frame for earning the money you need from this reselling lifestyle? I mean, is this reselling lifestyle something you intend to carry on until retirement? Is it something that you want to build on and start other businesses? Is it temporary until you get a job or whatever? But like, surely you have to take time into account as well when you're judging whether something's successful. And if you never do that, if you just like have the attitude of, I'll list it and then I can just leave it and it will sell eventually, because we've all had those sales. I've had those sales as well, where something will sell out of the blue that you've forgotten that you even had, and you'll make a profit on it, but you've stored it for like a year and a half. Are you learning from that?
Well, then you're getting into other territory then about your business model. And I think if you know your business model is based on that principle and you've thought through it and it works, then yeah, do it and run with it. But I think in some senses, you have to decide where you are on that spectrum of long tail to quick flip. And we've discussed this before, aren't we? And we kind of hover somewhere in the middle and not quite sure. We're not really committed to one or the other.
There's other things to take into consideration, isn't there? There is the space issue. And like you said, if you're going out every summer and you're buying as much as you can, that can quickly build up. And we all know examples where stock can just build up and become overwhelming.
That is more my concern. I'm not too worried about holding on to something if I think it's a quality item and I'm going to hold out, but the space and filling my room and headspace with stuff upon stuff is something I'm trying to get control of, and I'm having limited success. But it's an interesting question. I just wanted to read out Adam Kelsey's comment. He says, this is about you doing a boot sale. He says, possible scenario. Z sells item at car boot. Buyer takes it to their stall. Z has a wander around, sees the item and thinks, that'll be good to sell. He buys the item again and forgets to list it.
Oh, God. I wouldn't put that past me, I suppose. But that's why I'm not going to go around and look. I'm going to just sell, I think.
Oh, you'll go and have a look.
I don't know.
I guarantee it.
Beck will be mad. Depends on what Beck says. Flipping Fantastic Find says, I'm forever finding little random bits of jewelry in the bottom of my handbag. Oh yeah, I forgot I bought that. That's a pretty cool thing to be able to
find. And Tat Peddler has a good comment, and this is true. Leave your death pile for long enough, and then when you come to go through it, it's like new stock.
You have to leave it for a long time.
My loft is like that. Certain shelves in here are getting like that. It's like, I forgot I had this and I'm excited again. It's
the other day I was like, oh wow, I've got PSP and iPods that I'd forgotten about.
Wow. Like, that's good stock. That's not crappy stock.
No, that's good stuff. But it's just like, wow. I've got like the 2nd gen iPod, and I was meant to be changing the battery for it. It just needs a new battery, and it was like, yeah, I'll order a battery when I get around to it. And then I ended up with about 4 or 5 iPods that I need to put batteries in.
Okay, yeah, I understand that. Things that need testing and dealing with. I've still got a bunch of radios up there that I still haven't listed.
I've got a fully working PSP that I know is working because I bought 2 ages ago for a £5, and they only came with 1 power supply. So I tested them both. Sold one up at Amazon with the power supply, and the other one's been sat here now for over a year because I just haven't gotten round to ordering a PSP charger. I mean, it's just so stupid.
It's about getting organized, isn't it?
That stuff I will, but that's the thing. That kind of stuff, because it's small, it's compact, I'm happy to hold on to it until I do pull my finger out. Yeah. But this is where it gets tricky, because then there's a bunch of other stuff that you also keep hold of, but you won't have that same need to sort out and list. I mean, those items I'm keen to fix and list because they're going to be worth it. Each sale is going to be quick and it's going to be decent value. But I've got lots of stuff that won't be quick and won't be decent value. So
yeah. Reseller Mum is in. Hi there. Says, I've boxed up a lot of my death pile in quotes and have it organized now in priority of when to list. I'm working through it and then puts at the end and adding to it. Well, this is the thing, you see, no matter how much you list, we're all constantly adding to the other end. And Lex says, question, exclamation mark, Nick, were you seriously up till like 2 a.m. sorting those magic cards? Yes. I'm a bit of a night owl, and I was doing this till the very small hours, watching your video.
That's classic. Bobby Billington actually echoes what I was thinking. Agree to get rid, but also learn from the mistake and don't buy the same stuff in the future. See, this is the thing. I do think it's a risk to have this everything sells eventually mentality, because you're then at a real risk of not learning what sells quickly and what doesn't. And as much as we're all like, I'm happy to hold on to stuff, are you really? You're not in the business of holding on to stuff. You buy something, and ideally you'd want it to be sold before the end of the week, before the next car boot sale, really. Like, and that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
That's also very unrealistic.
It is, yeah, you're right.
I think we've all quoted, like the Scavenger Life, and a lot of people are fans of how Ken does things, and that business model is a way of looking at this. But the thing is, it's not going to suit everybody's circumstance, storage, patience level, just your own personality. It certainly wouldn't suit me to keep stuff for years at the same price, not revisit.
I'm one of those people that gets kind of itchy fingers when I see something that I'm like, should have sold by now.
Yeah, I reduce things.
Yeah, I was same here.
Quicker actually these days than I ever used to.
But
there's things moving.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I bought that tripod, and I put it up at 450 quid. I found that it was actually missing a small piece from the mid-level spreader. It doesn't affect the tripod itself really. It's and the parts available for like a £5, so it shouldn't be an issue. But I photographed it, listed it for 450 quid. I didn't really get it like many watches or anything, and I've reduced it now already to 400 just to see whether I can get a bit more interest in it. And I've managed to pick up a couple of watches, but in my eyes, I'm like, it's a popular item. People are searching for it. No one's even made an offer. No one's biting. That means the price is wrong. And I know I could wait, and there's proof that, that they've sold for 400 and 450 pounds. I can see that. In fact, I actually shared those sales to show how great a pickup it was.
Yeah.
But sometimes,
and there are people who would argue that's how much it's worth. List it and wait. And if you sell it for less, then you're just leaving money on the table. I'm with you on this. I think you need to
just get moving. And clearly, if it was the value, it would be snapped up as well. And also, I don't feel invested in the market value of things. These aren't stocks or shares that you're buying, that you're planning on holding on to. And also, unless you're planning on selling the exact same item continuously for many years to come, really, it's the market value of something is of no consequence, whether you're like, leaving money on the table, or whether, are you getting, it really should come down to what did you pay for it?
Yeah. The only relevant number.
Yeah, that's the only yeah, exactly.
You're doing the only relevant number is what you paid for it, and even that over time becomes irrelevant, because it's how much you can get for it that is the key.
Exactly. Now, if someone wanted to, I don't know, offer me like 300 quid or something, and I paid 100 for something, and then they went and listed it for 500 or 600 and got it, good on them. That's their prerogative. I'm happy to turn 100 to 300. As long as I'm happy, that's all that matters. Not necessarily.
Also, Fritz Stell is in, and he says that's a good point about leaving things on long term. He says, don't forget the financial issue about listings who are too long in your eBay store. You pay 36p per listing every 30 days. Well, it depends on your store, obviously, but and he said, so maybe it's better to clear non-selling items. There is a financial element to having a big inventory that sits there, so that's something to consider. But then again, as I said, some people will swear by that technique.
Fantastic Find says, that's it, Z, show off who's the boss. I'm guessing that was when he's just ignoring me.
I'm so far behind. Oh, Moore Mart says, evening all from sunny Dartmoor. I love Dartmoor. I used to go down there a lot, hiking and camping, and
oh, cool.
love it down there. Peter Cummins, impossible to answer question. Oh, great. If you listed everything you had, how many listings would you have approximately? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, it would depend how I'd choose to do it. I mean, I could list these cards like individually and in small lots.
Yeah.
There'd be like 3,000 or 4,000 listings there. The
Yeah.
car parts, again, I've still plowing through that, although I'm having a break because I'm sick of it. I don't know. It would be like
yeah, that
10,000.
happens, doesn't it? That happens. Thing is, when you go back to those car parts and you start going through them again, you're going to come across more like high value stuff, and you're going to be like, "Wow, I've just been sat on this."
Yeah, I'm still kind of in love with the haul, and it's still a brilliant money maker. But listing it is beyond dull. It's just flipping heck.
I think that's where Beck is amazing, because she will just sit and plow through this stuff.
Yeah,
like
I have to have a bit of a variety. Have a week on, a week off.
And I just add the photos to the listing. I have to take the photos and add them to the listing. Sparrow Zen says, hi everyone, watching whilst cooking dinner. I'm converting a spare room into eBay storage for the TAT. Out went the bed and dressing table. Wow, that is determined. Just make sure you use the space wisely.
Oh, I'm so far behind still.
I'm trying to keep up. Tat Peddler says Facebook Marketplace is good to clear lower price items too. Quick photo job done. Yeah, I mean, I just I'm not a fan of that platform myself. Yeah, I just don't. I don't mind buying from Facebook, but again, it's just I don't like waiting for people to come around. I just really don't like it. It's just I don't do it on eBay either. I don't do it on anything. So for me, I think that's why I'd prefer either dumping it all at an auction or going over to a car boot where I'm in control of.
I must say, when we cleared, this is going back a couple of months, we cleared a load of that sports haul at the auction, and that was so satisfying. We just took a car full and we never saw it again. Well, we did. There was a handful of bits didn't sell, but that was the easiest. What did we make? I don't know, a couple of £100. And got rid of stuff we really didn't want to deal with. That was
I think that's just it, isn't it? That is what comes out of it. It's all those benefits that you don't have to deal with it. It gets taken away. You're never going to see it again. Job done.
Did you read Lex's comment there? I'm not a hoarder, but I do get a little sad when some things sell. I don't know. I have to hug it and then say goodbye. That's not weird, is it? Well, on a level of normal to weird, it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit strange, I'd say. But I think it does depend on what it is. Like, for example, I'm a bit annoyed at the price I've sold an RC car recently. Like I sold it for, I think it was like 165 quid, and I was really hoping to get over 200 for it. But it was annoying me. I had so many people watching it. It was one of those things that just got watchers, and lots of people saying, would you take offers? Would you take offers? Which again, for me, was just a blatant signal that actually, if this was a great deal, out of all these page views and watches, someone would have bought it. The only thing that was stopping me is I'd sold the same car before, but in better condition for over 200 quid. And so I was determined to get close for this one as well. And for whatever reason, maybe the market's changed, maybe another car's come out, maybe something's happened that I'm not aware of. The appetite just wasn't there. And I've sold it for like 165 quid. Unfortunately, it's like an e-check, so I have to wait for the e-check to clear. But part of me is really gutted at selling it so cheap, and I'm like, I could have just kept it and played with it because it was so epic.
But what did you make on it? What was your net on that? Do you reckon?
Oh yeah, it's all profit now.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's all profit now.
On.
Everything I sell basically RC now is all profit. It's just
you're in the game of making money and selling stuff. Just that's all you have to remember.
Yeah.
And also going back, Lex, to your comment, that's not weird, is it? Nobody wants to be normal. I certainly don't want to be normal. I'd rather be weird.
Shalsaruni says it's the law. If you go to the car boot, you shop at the car boot. Yeah, it's possible. It depends what will happen. Right. Steve says, I see it as I'm stock building. The dream is to have a warehouse the size of Amazon. Winky smile. Right.
Oh, Jury Good Use Goods has asked a question to me. Question, Nick, how did you do on the magic cards? I have over 1,200 I can buy for $50. The thing with magic cards is I haven't sold these off yet. I've only just started sorting them. The thing with magic cards is they can be worth anywhere from nothing to some really good money per card. So a magic card isn't, you know what I mean? Without looking at them, I couldn't tell you whether you should buy them or not. There's no short way around it. You just have to look them up and find out what you've got.
Yeah,
it's a tricky one.
Reseller Mum Yola says, I think this is where reselling stuff such as Insta can hinder your/my mindset. I price things to sell, keep a close eye on my buy price. It's easy to become influenced by others and chase high solds. Yeah, very true. You've got to stick by what judge it by what you've spent on something. As people say, the profit's made when you buy something, isn't it, in a way?
Yeah. And if you decide that you're going to take a low offer or you just want to move something, just have faith in your own decision. Just stand by your own decision. You know what I mean? It's your stuff. It's your business. Just do it how you want. And just because somebody else has sold, like that tripod you were talking about, just because someone else achieved 400 quid, if you get offered 3 and that fits in with what you want that week, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just got to go with it. It's of no relevance to you, really, what somebody else achieved on something.
Very true.
If it fits in with what you want to do and what works.
I know what I paid for it, and it should be based on that, definitely. Sue's Piles of Shame has come into the chat as well and says, just arrived. Oh my God, not Death Piles. Yeah, talking in a way about, how things become death piles in a way, and what to do to deal with them. And it's partly come up. We've partly started this conversation because I mentioned earlier to Nick that Beck and I are thinking of doing our very first boot sale. It's something Beck has been for it a lot longer than I have. I think she's noticed the state of the shed in the garden getting more and more packed with stuff, and just generally the amount of stuff that's just around the house.
It's funny, actually. I just want to say hi to Sue. Been enjoying your videos recently, and Sue left a comment on one of my videos where I said that I got rid of 2 incomplete Playmobil sets when I did that boot sale. I bought 3 for £12. I sold the big one for 40 plus £10 shipping, and had these 2 left that were missing quite integral vital parts. They were missing figures and all sorts, and I sold the other 2 for £6 to another dealer straight away at the car boot. He saw the Playmobil, picked it up, made me an offer, and I just took it.
Yeah.
To me, that was perfect because I was already in money on the decent one. The other 2 owed me like £1 each, and I got £6 cash in my hand for them. And Sue was like, I'll have incomplete sets off you, and think of me next time, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I was happy to move that on. I didn't want to deal with incomplete sets. The time wasn't worth it. I'd rather have £6 in my hand, which I then went and invested same day at that boot sale in other stuff that is going to go to FBA.
And that's the thing. It's like I've got stuff that I've made my money on now. So, for example, those Video 8 movies, they're really cool. They're cool items, aren't they? And they're listed. They've been there for a while. I'm not sure if I will or not. But I could just take them to the car boot, and I'm sure they'd get snapped up for £1 each or whatever it would be. And they'd just be gone, and I wouldn't have to, it's cash in hand. I've made plenty of profit on them. And I'm like, that's the kind of mindset I want to try to get into.
To play devil's advocate, though, could you not just slash the price on eBay to £5 each and get way more, but because it's a worldwide market, stand more chance of getting that money?
See, now you're just confusing me, man.
Because I bet you still got them priced crazy high, haven't you?
Yeah, they're all priced crazy high. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
There's so many options. It's mind-boggling.
Jury says, I get that way with video games. I'm guessing talking about feeling attached. I sold a few rare ones last year, and I still to this day regret it because I will never pay what I sold the games for. Yeah, that's an interesting situation, because yeah, you know, if you know what you can get these for, but their value is shooting up on the open market, you're going to struggle to pay that.
Flipping Fantastic Fine says, love a quick flip. I get bored seeing the same stuff relisted time and time again. Yeah, I'm getting more and more impatient, and my model is changing to adjusting prices and getting things moving. I'm more inclined that way. I've still got a load of crap in my shop that I want to get rid of.
Gloria says, Lex, I've just found your videos and you're hilarious. Thank you for being so authentic and entertaining.
Yeah, Lex is very funny.
Yeah, Beck was watching her videos as well. I think it was yesterday. I was half asleep. I was just like, yeah. Right, what else have we got going on in here? We've got 132 people in here, by the way, so thank you everybody for joining us. I should actually just take a moment to address the last stream we did on this channel. Beck and I went live on Monday, where we started doing our packaging. It was a bit silly in the end, and I did get a comment about the bad language, the odious language used. So I would like to just put it out there that, you know, I'm not for odious language. That's normally reserved for my other channel, in case you've heard of it. This channel should be clean. Oh gosh. All right.
I just want to mention, I've lost the comment now, but Peter said, was I sad to see the Die Hard game go? I'm really happy that it's going to your collection, Peter, to be perfectly honest. So yeah, thanks for the purchase. You should get that tomorrow, I would think. All right, I'm just going to try and catch up to the end.
Red Economics says, what's this channel about? I just found this under recommended videos. Oh, God knows what it's about, honestly. It's meant to be. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, guys. Help me. It's meant to be just about reselling and stuff. Mostly stuff now, actually, isn't it? I'd say, yeah, it's more stuff. It's just stuff. I'm going to put that in the description.
Documenting what you're up to, flogging stuff online.
That's it. Document. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Sue says, I've just taken a car full to the charity shop and came back with half a car full. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah, we do offload a fair amount of stuff to charity, and I always buy some stuff while I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think because you're always on the lookout, aren't you? You're always an opportunist. You're always looking out for items, you know, that have a profit, and you live in a normal home with a normal amount of space. Then, you know, you do have to keep an eye on these things. You do have to keep things moving. I think I'm just getting round to that mindset a bit more. I mean, we've had this stuff sat there, and at the end of the day, it's money just sat there doing nothing. So, you know, it is about facing it. Now, facing it, I suppose, in the past, the reason why I've held on to this stuff for so long is because in the past, my idea of facing it would mean actually getting around to listing it. But I'm now coming around to the idea that actually every now and then, if I do, you know, realize that I'm surrounded by stuff that hasn't had a look in terms of being listed to sell online, then there are other ways of dealing with it, whether that be giving it away to charity, whether that be selling it at an auction or a car boot or whatever. And I think that's something that I'm really going to take to heart and deal with. I mean, really strangely, I've got a box of like, yeah, I mean, not going to go there, but yeah. Just,
Flipping Fantastic Finds has said, hey Lex, watch your jewelry haul. That was the one I was watching last night. I bought hundreds of charity pins on Sunday and have since learned that RSPB birds fetch good money. I remember making a video where I shared selling RSPB bird little pin badges ages ago, and I was surprised what I achieved on those. Certain ones that are rare ones, I guess, were going for silly money just for a pin badge.
Yeah, you can get some really
yeah. And it was interesting watching Lex when she was sorting out I think it was a charity shop that was closing down for a refurb or something, and she bought something like.
Oh yeah, it was an Ox.
50.
Yeah, Beck mentioned it was an
Yeah.
Oxfam because I walked in half asleep. I was like, "Oh, what are you watching?" And then she's like, "Yeah, it was an Ox." And I was like, that kind of woke me up a little bit. But then I was still too tired, unfortunately. And
I think you got an epic deal because there was like 50 odd bags or something for £25, so like 50 pence a bag.
Crazy.
And she went through all of these bags. And I think that's a situation where, and she mentioned it in the video, she's going to make bundles of bangles and bundles of this and bundles of that to clear the average crap, and then the good stuff sell off in pieces. And
but on a side note, an Oxfam closing down.
Yeah, it might have been a refit then. I don't know. I can't remember what the story was on that. You'd have to let us know, Lex, if you're still watching.
Yeah, definitely. Julie Hall says, I bought 2 pairs of Tricker shoes for £10, listed the both for £250 each, took an offer on 1 pair of £185, £5 to £185, can't complain. Tricker shoes, what are those?
No idea.
But that is an insane profit, Julie, though. Definitely. Yeah, you definitely can't complain. Adam says, sweary McSweary sweatpants.
Yeah. I heard some choice words from you whilst we were walking, mate.
Oh
no. We were all swearing under our breath towards the end. Oh my god.
Oh god.
Every step it was like
and you know what? I wanted to shout at Beck when the hill, because she was being really supportive, but almost to the point where I was like, okay, this is getting too nice now, right? And then that's when that hill bit came right at the end. And I felt like just saying, this is why you're being nice.
We all totally zoned out at the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
Wasn't a whole lot of chat going on.
No, but I think it was, getting the hill was, I dealt with it a lot better than I thought I would. Man.
Yeah.
Stephen Moore says this channel is about dogs that used to gosh, I'm so glad that this channel is known for such brilliant things.
It's highbrow stuff, you know.
Yeah. I appreciate that Nick appears on it once every other week just to give it some credibility.
I'm not sure about that.
Otherwise, it'd just be known as the dog fart channel. I mean, that's just wrong.
People ask whose birthday it is. I don't know. Well, it was yours recently, wasn't it?
It was recently. Yeah, it's gone now. Been and done.
Lex says, ooh, it wasn't closing down, just closing for the day because they had no volunteers. I think they just wanted some cash in the till. Oh, wow.
What an opportunity, Lex. And good to see that you didn't, that you just went for it.
Yeah, threw out a cheeky offer. Yeah. I like that.
That is fantastic, Lex. I can't see that comment, but I'm going with you. I
think I'm nearly at the bottom now.
Okay. Right.
What,
do you even Fortnite anymore? Yeah, I Fortnite, Ash. I'm just been tired, man.
Tired. Tricker, Julie Hall says Tricker is the brand, handmade leather shoes.
Ooh, very nice. That is a fantastic bit of information there.
Well, Pixie Dust says, is it me or have they gone out of sync? I've no idea if we're out of sync.
I don't know. I think the computer's been a bit funny recently. I think I've got some gremlins in it, and it may be.
You've received a super chat there.
Oh wow. Oh, from Redneckonomics. Thank you. $5 super chat. Wow, that is.
I love that name, Redneckonomics.
Redneckonomics, yeah.
It's quite hard to say, actually.
it's extra hard to say at the moment, just because words are difficult. Out of sync, says Sparrows, and yeah, it's definitely something going on. It's my PC.
We're almost at the end, so bear with us for another 5 minutes.
Yes, very out of sync. It says. Man, I don't know what's going on. I need to sort this computer. If it's that bloody Apple device manager, I'm gonna calm myself down. It's not. I don't know what it is, but there's something going wrong. Okay, well, apologies for it being out of sync, and thank you very much, Redneckonomics. We'll just talk like this so that you can't tell that it's out of sync.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna end the.
I'm perfectly in sync over here.
Yeah, we're perfectly in sync. Yeah, not NSYNC. Yeah, Tom says it's out of sync as well. Well, it's actually 7 o'clock now. So yeah, I do need a new PC, just like a Japanese karate film, says Peter Ray.
Yeah, Gary says a badly dubbed foreign language film. Yeah. Fortunately, without the arty content, it's just two blokes waffling about TAT.
He's got a beard, innit?
Before we go, I just want to plug tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're doing a what do you call it? Price is Right. Not with the usual suspects. We've got some new players. So if you're around tomorrow, I think we're aiming for 6 o'clock. And there may be some people from the chat that are in the chat tonight might be playing.
That would be super cool.
I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I look forward to that. As if you need it, Nick's link is in the description. But yes, everyone will be subscribed to Nick. Karen, so shall we say bye-bye now then, says James. Oh, okay. I need an ice cream, but can't have it. Yeah, I think it's the end of the chat now, really. Just thank you, everybody, for bearing with us. Appreciate we're not 100% with it. And apologies for the out of sync. Thank you, Red Economics, for the super chat. That was lovely. We are going to be back, as Nick will be back tomorrow with that Price is Right. Looking forward to that. You know, yeah, I'm so tired.
You're having a major brain fart, aren't you?
Oh, I am.
You'll be back on Friday. I'll be back on Sunday.
Yes.
How's that?
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you guys for watching.